You've tried, you've pushed, you've taken action on your dreams and your plans. But somehow, you're still stuck. Not because you never moved, but because too many of your moves didn't lead anywhere. You trusted the wrong people, took risks that backfired, gave things your time, your energy, your belief, and watched them collapse. Now, it is not just failure you're carrying, it is exhaustion, doubt, hesitation. Welcome to Mindset Reset, the place to restart your thinking and rebuild your habits. Today we're asking the real question. How do you get unstuck when motivation isn't just missing? It is buried under everything that didn't work. We're often told that if you're not motivated, something must be wrong with you. That you're not hungry enough, not disciplined enough, not focused. But that's not how most people get stuck. The truth is, most people feel stuck after they've already done a lot. They tried, they moved, they gave something their time, their trust, their energy, and it didn't work. What you're dealing with isn't laziness. It is a system overload from three converging forces. Let's break them down. The external hits. This is the obvious one, but it is where many people stop. You partnered with someone who said they could deliver and they didn't. You built something from scratch and then got undercut, ghosted, or shut down by something you couldn't control. You took action and paid for it in money, reputation, relationships, or years of time. Eventually, your mind starts associating action with cost instead of progress. It is not that you won't move. It is that every move now feels like a gamble you cannot afford to lose again. The mental conditioning. This one is deeper and often invisible until it is too late. Your beliefs about success and failure were shaped long before you even had a chance to chase your own dreams. Family taught you to avoid risk, to be realistic, to stick to stability over uncertainty. Even if they meant well, the message was, do not try too hard, it might hurt you. School trained you to follow rules, not question systems. Rewarded safety, punished experimentation, made grades and structure feel more valuable than initiative and risk. Friends may have mocked ambition, may have projected their own fears or limitations onto you, may have quietly resented you stepping out of the path they stayed on. Society and cultural messaging glorifies overnight success but hides the years of failure behind it. Celebrates status, not process. Equates wealth with worth. Frowns on anything that doesn't look polished, proven, or profitable. Even motivational speakers, the ones meant to inspire, can backfire. They can make you feel like something is wrong with you if you haven't made it yet. Or if you need rest. Or if your process doesn't fit the hustle narrative. So when your first big try fails, that whole system of messaging kicks in and whispers, see, they were right. This isn't for people like you. You should have played it safe. And suddenly, trying again feels reckless. Not because it is, but because you've been trained to believe it is. Your personal wiring. This part gets ignored the most. Not everyone runs on the same engine. Some people can get burned, backstabbed, and still come back swinging. They have a baseline energy that pushes them forward, no matter what. Others move differently. They can carry more weight emotionally. They calculate more. They need to feel some stability, some sense of alignment, or a clear path before they act. This isn't about strength or weakness. It's not about being better or worse. It is about knowing how you're built so that you stop trying to force yourself into someone else's mode. You don't need to be them. You need to understand you and how to move from where you're standing, not where someone else started. So what is really happening? When motivation disappears, it is not random. It is not a flaw in your character. It is a mix of what hit you, what trained you or conditioned you, and how you process all of it. You're not stuck because you're broken in any way. You're stuck because everything around you and inside you is screaming for safety. And the only way forward is learning how to move without dragging all three of these forces behind you like dead weight. And that is what we'll start doing next. When people finally realize they're stuck, they start searching for motivation. They try to get inspired. They wait for a spark. They binge content. They watch other people chase their dreams and hope it rubs off. But there's a trap. Motivation is unreliable. It spikes and crashes. It fades under pressure. It doesn't survive resistance. And most of the time, we only seek it after we already hit emotional burnout, which means we're asking for drive from an internal system that is already depleted. Let's go deeper. Motivation is not a fuel source. It is a reaction. It kicks in after clarity, after momentum, after safety. And if you're carrying emotional damage, if you're second guessing your judgment, doubting your capacity, or afraid of another collapse, no amount of motivational quotes will fix that. In fact, chasing motivation while ignoring the root causes can make things worse, because every time you feel that temporary surge but still don't act, you start blaming yourself again. I must not want it enough. I am too soft. Why can't I just do it like everyone else? But you're not the problem. The strategy is. Here is the truth. Waiting for motivation to restart your life is like waiting for perfect weather to build a house. It is unstable. It is unpredictable. Good weather won't last until the house is completed. What actually works is structure. Small, clear, repeatable actions that don't need emotional spikes to function. That is where we're heading next. In the following chapters, we're going to strip motivation out of the equation and show you how to slowly build a reset system that works even when you don't feel like it. Because that is how you move again. Not with pressure, not with hype, but with small steps, steady rebuilding, and proven progress. Let's stop chasing momentum and start building structure. This is where the rebuild begins. We're not aiming for breakthroughs. We're aiming for stability, enough to give your mind and body a sense of control again. Even if you don't feel motivated, you can start moving with 3 foundational steps. These are designed to cut through noise, calm your system, and give you one win at a time. Anchor your energy. When your system is scattered, physically or emotionally, everything feels heavier. Start with the most basic reset. Go to sleep at the same time for 3 days. Drink water before coffee. Move your body for 10 minutes. Walk, stretch, or pace. No productivity hacks. No 5 a.m. routines. You're stabilizing your energy baseline. Not to chase goals, but to give your brain one signal. We are in control again. Reclaim 1 hour from your environment. Pick one area of your life that drains you and take back control. Clean your desk. Cancel something you hate doing. Silence notifications. Declutter one inbox or one app. Say no to one person who's been pulling you off course. This isn't about productivity. It is about identity. You're telling yourself, I still have power over something. And that belief, even in one area, is enough to start shifting the rest. Commit to one tiny proof loop. Pick something small you can finish, not think about, not plan, but complete. The purpose isn't transformation. It is traction. You're teaching your brain, we're not stuck, we move. Here are real physical actions that rebuild momentum. Do 5 push-ups the moment you wake up. Fix that leaky faucet you've been ignoring. Take 30 minutes and rearrange your room, any room. Just shift one space in your house. Sort one drawer you've avoided for weeks. Put on music and sweep your floor. Delete 10 files you don't need from your desktop. Water the plants. Wash the dishes. Manually reset your space. These aren't chores. They are micro victories. They prove to your system that you're still in motion and that you follow through. This is your proof loop. Small, manual, done. Because staying in motion gives you momentum, and momentum is what opens the door for real motivation to take root. Not the other way around. Don't wait to feel inspired to act. Act so that you're ready when inspiration finally hits. The biggest reason people stop isn't failure. It is silence. You're doing the work. You're showing up, but nothing is happening. No breakthrough, no results, no validation. Just stillness. And over time, that silence starts to feel like judgment. Am I doing something wrong? Is this even working? When does this feel pointless? That is where most people lose momentum. Not because you are unmotivated, but because you have become insecure, worn down, and questioning everything you've done. But here is what is real. Progress is usually invisible while it is happening. The most important shifts don't feel like winning. They feel like repetition, like boredom, like doubt. But that's where real change starts to build underneath the surface. Here is how to stay in motion when you can't see results. Use a visual tracker. Even a simple checklist works. Track reps, not results. Cross off the days you followed through. Highlight the actions you completed. Keep it visible. Your brain needs to see proof. Switch to micro goals. Forget the big wins for now. Shrink your focus to things you can finish today. Instead of get fit, stretch for 10 minutes and walk the block. Instead of fix my finances, check one account and review one subscription. Instead of change my life, do one thing I've avoided all week. Success isn't one big event. It is stacked micro wins that prove you're capable of movement. Keep a weekly proof note. Once a week ask, what did I actually handle this week? Write down 3 things, real, specific ones. I got out of bed on time and followed my morning plan. I cleaned the kitchen I've been avoiding for days. I stopped overthinking and did it. I sent the email I've been overthinking for weeks. This isn't motivational fluff. There are real examples of follow-through. You're building momentum, outlining a path you can actually follow, Random effort creates motion, but structured effort creates direction. Pick one goal, just one. Now break it down. What is the result I want? What are the 3 to 5 stages to get there? What is one action I can take in each stage? Write the steps down. Make them visible. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a clear sequence. Clean my room becomes clear the bed, fold laundry, empty floor space, wipe surfaces, take trash out. This gives your brain a reason to keep going, not just activity, but measurable completion. And here is the shift. This same breakdown method is what you will use for bigger goals. Right now, it might be a drawer, a room, or a phone call. But once you build consistency, you will start applying this to bigger things. A job transition, a personal reinvention, even a full business plan. It all follows the same structure. Break the goal down, create the steps, stay focused, finish. This is how confidence is built, not by hype or intensity, but by structure, movement, and completion. If you've made it this far, you're not who you were at the beginning of this video. You might not feel transformed, you might not feel strong, but if something inside you clicked into motion, even slightly, that is the shift. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. Because when you start moving again, you're not just solving your current problems. You're building a system that makes future problems easier to face. You're building a nervous system that doesn't shut down under pressure, a mind that doesn't need external hype to take action, a routine that doesn't fall apart every time you feel off, a way of thinking that doesn't rely on feeling ready to begin. You're teaching yourself, I know how to restart. I know how to keep moving, even when nothing is clear yet. I don't need to have it all figured out to take the next step. This is how people build momentum. Not by chasing a perfect version of themselves, but by becoming the kind of person who doesn't stay stuck. You won't win every day. Some days you'll fall back. But the longer you stay in motion, the stronger your system becomes. And one day, without even noticing it, you will look around and realize, I built my way out of it. Step by step. Loop by loop. Proof by proof. If this is where you're starting again, you're not behind, you're right on time. If this video resonated with you, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon for future uploads. Our next video is why you cannot focus and how to rebuild it.